Hello, advisors, and welcome to day 10 of the 14-day Business Advisory Practice Bootcamp. Today, we're turning our goals into traction because great ideas are everywhere, but execution is rare. As a business advisor, your ability to get clients to set clear goals and stay accountable will make you indispensable. Today's presentation is sponsored by Coleman Tanner Small Business Consulting, your source for strategic business solutions. By the end of today's session, you'll be able to guide your clients in setting goals that actually move the needle forward, break big goals into manageable milestones, recommend accountability systems that fit different personality types, and position yourself as a coach, not just as a business consultant. Let's help these small business owners stop talking about growth and start tracking it. Most business owners set vague goals like, I want to grow my business or I want to make more money. But without clarity, structure, and deadlines, those goals will fade fast. They also struggle with prioritizing tasks, staying consistent, tracking their progress, and feeling accountable. That's where you come in. Smart goals still work if they're used properly. You can help your clients define smart goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound, or relevant and time bound. Here's an example: increase monthly recurring revenue from $3,000 to $5,000 by December 31, 2025. That's a real goal and not a wish. Big goals will fail without smaller milestones. So you can break down the big goals like this. You can turn a 12-month goal into 90-day targets. You can have monthly metrics underneath the 90-day targets. And underneath the monthly metrics that you need to reach, you can have weekly action plans. And then underneath the weekly action plans, you can break it down further into daily habits, the daily activities that will move the progress forward towards achieving the week's goals, which moves the progress forward towards achieving the monthly goals, which moves the progress forward towards reaching the 90-day goals. And you'll have four major goals, four quarterly goals, or major milestones to achieve in a year's time. This is how you can turn your ideas or your business owner clients' ideas into momentum driving action steps. You can use this method in every coaching and consulting session that you have with your clients. And that should be done. It can be done on a weekly basis, or those coaching check-ins can be done on a monthly basis as well. It depends on how much money your client wants to spend, right? Weekly is more expensive. But here's four accountability systems that you can use or suggest with your clients. So first of all, is the best case scenario is that they'll agree to weekly check-ins, because that holds them more accountable when they're checked in, when they have to report to you on a weekly basis. So, and that's just a 1 hour meeting to go through their KPIs and ensure that that their dashboards are looking good, or if there's any red flags on their dashboards that they need to course correct in order to have a better week the following week, right? Moving forward. So tracking your scorecards and your KPIs is very important. If you can't do it on a weekly basis, then at least do it on a monthly basis to ensure that they're not getting too far off course. The other thing that you can do, a smaller cost, a lower cost for small business owners, would be like a group accountability, a group mastermind, or being a part of a group coaching program where you can check in with 5 to 10 people, let's say 10 business owners in a cohort, that you check in with them on a weekly or a monthly basis at a lower cost, because they're taking time to check in with all the other people in the group. So they may not have an hour to address their specific questions, but If there's 10 people and it's an hour long, they might get 6 minutes to get their questions answered in that group call. And that group call could also um, include some video trainings that help them move the needle forward, um, such as the things that we teach in the bespoke startup program if they're new business owners. But the other way that you can have accountability check-ins with the business owners on a more personalized level is to offer them access to Slack or Voxer, right, which operates like a CB radio on your cell phone, where they can contact you at certain hours that you extend your time availability to them. So maybe you say, okay, I will give you access to me on Voxer up until 10 p.m. at night or 11 p.m. at night, because you don't want calls at 2 o'clock in the morning unless it's a serious emergency, right? You can also grow. You can create a advisor hosted community, which again, that's kind of like what I was talking about with having a group coaching plan. So, like, I have the Entrefluential Life Facebook group where people can come in and get access to training information, right? Or I could host Q&A sessions inside of my Facebook group. You could do the same thing. The other thing is that you could have self review prompts that it's self review. So the owner will receive your prompt and then answer questions so they can gauge where they are in their growth, right? In their accountability in accomplishing the goals that they've set. And also they could journal, right? You could send them journaling prompts and they could journal. They could have a journal like me where they keep track of their progress inside of the journal. So that's another resource is journaling prompts. In any case, you want to help them choose a method that will work for them based on their personality, their style, and their schedule and their budget. So as a goal accountability partner, your role is to ask clarifying questions, to challenge any assumptions that they have, to challenge their priorities, to ensure that they're doing the most urgent, most important tasks and not wasting time on tasks that they could delegate to someone else or to put off for a later date. You also are there to celebrate their small wins, which bolsters their self confidence and bolsters their ability to accomplish goals, and then also to help reset when their momentum stalls. So you got to get them back on course. You got to get them fired up again. So you're not just managing the tasks that you collectively create with your business owner clients, but you're also helping the client to grow into the next version of themselves, like John 2.0 or 3.0 or 4.0, as they're progressing in the journey of entrepreneurship. So now let's move on to some pro tips for new business advisors. To make this a repeatable service, a recurring revenue stream, you can offer them a monthly or a quarterly goal setting session with follow ups. You can bundle this with planning, with revenue reviews, or with systems operations work, like doing a SWOT analysis. You can use AI to generate goal tracking templates for them to use, or use ChatGPT to create journaling prompts for them to check in on their progress. You can also automate reminders and send them meeting links for those check-in appointments. And this will become your advisory anchor, which is something that they can return to again and again, whether it be on a weekly or on a monthly basis, or even on a quarterly basis, which is the least preferable option for accountability. Having you as their accountability partner solidifies your value, the value that you're adding to these business owners as their advisor. All right, time for your homework assignment. So for your day 10 homework assignment, you are going to write a 90-day SMART business goal for a real or a hypothetical client. And then you're going to break it down into weekly and daily milestones that they need to accomplish. And you can use your workbook to track this assignment. And you can use ChatGPT to draft that 30-day accountability check-in script that you're going to use when you contact the client in 30 days or on the weekly basis. And for bonus points, you can share a summary of your work or share your top insight from this assignment, from this activity, inside of the comments of this video. And that, my friends, concludes day 10. Great work. Thank you for showing up, and thank you for taking time to sharpen the saw so that you can be a better guide for the business owner clients that you're going to be coaching. Helping clients create clarity and momentum is your superpower. Tomorrow, we're going to zoom out with strategic planning, where we will align goals, markets, and business models for long-term success. I'll see you inside of day 11. Bye for now.